Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame podcast. Hawks lose 4-0 to the Colorado Avalanche, and boy, it was worse than that. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. Thanks for staying up late with us. We appreciate it. Please smash that like button for us if you're here. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page. If you're waiting until the morning to listen to the postgame podcast, thank you for doing that. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and make sure you're following on your favorite preferred podcast app. Well, fellas, this is what you see when you have a legitimate contender against an exhausted team in year 0.5 or 1 of the rebuild. This was just a thrashing from start to finish.
Yeah, we have a lot of optimism heading in this season, a renewed sense of, hey, this is going to look pretty good soon. Well, not as soon. The Avalanche reminded us there's still a long way to go before this team is a serious contender. But, you know, you got pantsed by one of the best teams in the league on their home opener at the end of your 5-game road trip. It is what it is. This is one of those games where you burn the tape and you move on, you come home, and it doesn't get any easier.
Yeah.
The defending Stanley Cup champions, who are 5-0.
5-0.
Yeah.
The first reigning Stanley Cup champ to go 5-0 since one of those 80s Oilers teams.
The 85 Oilers.
Yeah. So, you know, whatever. It is what it is. The game started off okay, and it ended when Bowen Byron flipped that puck into the crowd and took that delay of game penalty because they gave up the shorty, another one, and the game was over at that point.
Yeah. As always, you get to vote on the 4th star of the game. The 3 stars of the game, Alexander Georgiev, the number 1 star. He didn't have a lot of work to do, but okay. Number 2 star, Logan O'Connor. Number 3 star, Mikko Rantanen. So our nominees for the 4th star, and this has been the toughest it's been to choose, I'll tell you that. Andreas Athanasiou, who played 11-19, 2 shot attempts, 2 more missed shots, so 4 total shot attempts, none on goal, and was credited with a takeaway. Nick Foligno, 16:06 of ice time, 3 shots, a missed shot, and a hit. And Petr Mrazek, who stopped 37 of 41 Colorado shots on goal. I know who my vote's going towards. I'm giving it to Petr Mrazek, who was just under siege the entire game, and
Made a couple of highlights.
he did. He made it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm also going to give it to Mrazek just because he made some saves that on most nights keeps the Blackhawks in the game, but on a game like tonight, he'll make 2 or 3 saves in a row, and then it's the 4th shot that goes in.
Yeah,
and
right.
So it was just, you know, there's only so much he can do in those types of situations. And yeah, and then this is just one of those games where, you know, we talked about it in the pregame. It's your last game of a 5-game road trip. You're you know, in your head, you're 3 hours of a hockey game away from getting on a plane and going home and sleeping in your own bed and, you know, having food that you prepared yourself and all that stuff. But you're going up against one of the, if not the best team in the league. You had to be ready for it. And I'm not going to say that they weren't ready for it, but once the adversity hit, it was just, you can't play catch up. This team can't play catch up against a team like the Avs, and it was just constantly over and over and over the speed and talent, the discrepancy between the two teams. What's the saying? There's levels to this. That was the theme of the night. Like the Blackhawks, you can hang with teams like Pittsburgh. You can hang with, you can upset a team like Toronto on if they're not focused. You can hang with Boston. You had no shot against the Avs.
This is like a 60-minute power play. It looked like.
Yeah, it was just on the broadcast, it was, they said this is, varsity versus JV. That's exactly what it felt like.
Avs were playing a different game tonight than the Blackhawks were. There's NHL speed, and then there's Colorado Avalanche speed.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
And you could see that, the young players, Connor Bedard, Kevin Korchinski, Kaiser to agree, they were struggling with, Connor Bedard was probably like, okay, I think I finally got the NHL speed down, and he's out there going, holy shit, what is this?
Yeah, this is different. Right. And he's got two guys hitting him at once, and just they completely shadowed him, and
no shot attempts.
And Colorado's got the defensive horses that can keep up with him. So when you've got so the difference is if you're looking at Nathan McKinnon versus Bedard, they have other options. The Hawks don't have any other options, and even Taylor Hall, who we all like and we're glad he's here and we think he's going to be a huge benefit to Connor Bedard, is not the kind of guy who demands attention very much anymore. He's a good player. He's going to hurt you. Your opponent wants to know where he is, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to drag you into a win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He's a good complementary player.
Yeah. And
he was kind of pissing me off tonight.
Well, I think we're after Montreal. I was super pissed. You guys were upset, but not as pissed as I was. This is different. This just felt like they're outclassed. However, there were a lot of things that could have made this night better. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the strategy was on the power play with Seth Jones just kind of going all over the place. It looked by design. I would like to hear what Luke Richardson has to say after the game about the approach of having, when you watch hockey for as long as we've watched it, there's things you see and your brain goes, well, that's not right. Or there should be somebody there. And they're not there. And a lot of the times during this game, it was where Seth Jones should have been, and he was elsewhere. Maybe it's on him. Maybe he's trying to make something happen. Maybe it's the plan they came up with tonight. Either way, it didn't work. You also, from the midway through the second period on, had guys with wide open shooting opportunities, Taylor Hall included, that just refused to shoot the damn puck. Yeah. Lucas Reichel was staring the goalie down and just made a pass to nowhere. And I know it's very natural. We've seen this from the Hawks when they were good and when they were bad. You see it around the league. When teams are frustrated and things aren't going well, they're trying to be perfect. They've got to get that message. And then when they did shoot, it was like you'd put a pass to a guy in the slot and they would wait for the defender to arrive, then shoot it off their shins. It's like, dudes, just rifle the damn puck on the goalie.
Yeah. No urgency.
Yeah.
Down 2, down 3, down 4, and everybody's I said it during when Taylor Hall made that egregious pass on the power play backwards when he's 3 feet away from the net. I said, everybody's got Max Domi disease. Remember last season, Max Domi? Pass. Where's Patrick Kane? I got to pass it. Everybody was passing tonight. Just shoot. You're down 3. You're down 4 on the road. Shoot the damn puck. All Colorado did was shoot all night long. At one point, the shots were 8-8.
Then what happened?
It was 27-8. 19 shots in a row into the Colorado. It was ridiculous.
Not shot attempts. Shots
on
goal.
Shots on goal. 41-18 was the final of that.
Yeah. That's not a recipe for.
And Lucas Reichel tied for the lead on shots with 3. 2 of them came back to back on the power play.
Right.
Nick Foligno had 3 shots, and Ryan Donato had 3 shots. The only other players with more than 1 were Taylor Radish and Boris Kachuk.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not ready to. Well, look, panicking at anything this year would be silly. There's a lot of people on the chat calling for line changes and mix-ups and those sort of move Reichel from center. Just give it time. I still think they've all sort of said
60% of his draws.
Yeah. Well, they've all sort of said the 10-game mark will be the analysis point for a lot of things, but there is a little bit of you can kind of understand how this game was the way it was. These guys have to be dog-ass tired. Mm-hmm. They have to be. It's a reality. And you've got these young guys who have never really been through this before, experiencing it for the first time. And I liked what they talked about this during the broadcast where everyone was talking about the story from earlier this week where Corey Perry had to go and yell at Korchinski and Reichel and Bedard and was it Vlasic, I think was the other one, to get the F off the ice because the bus was leaving. And their point was, guys, we have 82 games. We appreciate that you want to work really hard and be on the ice as late as you can, but save some of your energy. Save some of this. Like, you don't need to be out there ripping 100 extra shots. We just practice for an hour. We're probably going to hit the bikes before or after. It's enough. Use your downtime or you're just going to run out of gas. And these are the sort of lessons that when we talk about like these veterans coming in and leading this team, these are the sort of things they can teach. And Ray Ferraro said back in my day, I would just jump on the ice and go, we're leaving in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
and that was how you got the kids off the ice.
Yeah. This is, a situation where they're traveling for almost 2 weeks, worth of travel. And, you're traveling over 3,000 miles. I think they calculated on the broadcast. And, you're talking about guys like, like Bedard and Korchinski, where, it's mostly just bus trips in the WHL from place to place. And, I think it's learning the new environment in the NHL and learning what it's going to take game to game for preparation and recovery and all that. So yeah, I would like to think that this is a learning experience, and specifically this game is the learning experience to say, hey, this is where we are at the end of a 5-game road trip. This is the opponent we're facing, it's their home opener. They're odds-on favorite for the Stanley Cup. Like, we need to be prepared for this game, otherwise we're going to get run out of the building 4-0, and shots are going to be 41-18. Well, that's what happened tonight.
This is not the game to be upset after.
Yeah, there's a lot of people melting down. I don't know if it's sarcasm or sincerity, but
one person's melting down.
Chill the F out, guys.
This is not the game to get upset. We were upset in the Montreal game because that's a team it's
a winnable game.
That's a team that's near the same level as the Blackhawks.
Did you watch them in Minnesota the other night?
What's that?
Minnesota just beat the shit out of them.
They did. And then Minnesota lost at home by 5 to the Kings tonight.
Yeah.
Hockey's weird.
Is hockey dumb?
It's very dumb.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest of the dumb.
Yeah.
And so tonight's not the night. You're upset after the Montreal game because, the effort stunk. And that's a team that you're kind of, out of the 5 teams on this road trip, that was the team you're closest to. The Avalanche and the Blackhawks aren't even playing the same sport right now.
No, not right now.
So to be mad that you got run out of the building by probably the best team in the league with, 3 rookie defensemen, an 18-year-old kid, a 20-year-old kid playing center for the first time, relax. This is pretty much what I expected.
It was a little worse than I expected.
I didn't think it would be 41-18, and but I didn't expect them to win tonight. I didn't this was the game heading into this road trip where I was like, that's going to be the ugly one. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't Toronto, it's going to be Colorado.
Yeah,
I figured, and before this road trip started, 2 and 3. We'd all take it.
Yeah,
we'd all take it. You had a great win in Pittsburgh.
It's not a horrible start.
You beat the pants off of Toronto. Yeah. Remember those things. Those were just a few days ago.
Yeah.
Getting your ass kicked by the Colorado Avalanche in Denver is not a reason to be mad.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter. None of these games really matter. Not the results.
Yeah.
Not the end results. They don't matter big picture. This season, we're not... Guys, I have to break this to you. The Blackhawks aren't going to make the playoffs this year. I hate to throw in the towel this early in the season.
It's a hot take.
I know there's 77 games left. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
We don't need to go crazy and be upset that one of the best teams in the league beat your ass.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Colorado's going to do that like 60 times this year to other teams, to teams better than the Blackhawks.
Yeah. You get upset if they come out and it's clear that they're just counting down the clock till they can get on the bus to the plane. and get back home. But this was a game where it was just the Avalanche constantly, their speed and their execution and their structure was just at a level the Blackhawks couldn't match, couldn't respond to. So you get frustrated with the way that they're playing because of just how good the Avalanche were tonight, and it forced the Blackhawks into frustrating tendencies. So if the effort wasn't there, we'd all be pissed like we were after the Montreal game, even though that's against the Avalanche. But we're not mad at the effort. It's just upsetting to see a team get blown out like that. But
Look, yeah,
it's the Avalanche. What are you going to do?
We talked to Megan Angle yesterday from DNVR, and we asked her, like, what's your primary concern with the Avs? And she said injuries.
Yeah.
That means you're a really effing good and deep and solid team.
I remember those days. They were
And, and I want to remind people who may be, jumping in on hockey because of Bedard or whatever, go take a look at the Avalanche's 5 or 6 seasons before Nathan McKinnon and company really settled in. They were historically awful. And there's people in the chat saying, like, this is why they need more than Bedard. They have more than Bedard. It's just not here yet.
Yeah.
Those prospects are either arriving with him, like Kevin Korchinski and Wyatt Kaiser, or you've got Frank Nazar and you've got Oliver Moore and you've got all these other prospects that are going to be here when the Hawks are ready to win. Again, it's year one of the rebuild. I also want to acknowledge that Region Rev says we haven't been critical enough of the Hawks leaving Mrazek out to dry enough. So we all voted for him for the 4-star of the game. He stopped 37 of 41 shots. The Hawks hung him out to dry.
Yeah, well,
I think it's pretty obvious that in us all voting for him as our 4-star of the game, that was an acknowledgement of that.
He was
making sure
we were
clear.
Buried in the avalanche of shots that he had to face. It's a Stanley Cup favorite against a team that's going to be in the lottery. It's nine times out of 10, this is the game that's going to happen. Yeah. So it's hard to muster up any anger or any harsh criticisms. Yeah, there's things you want to work on. I don't think, to what you said earlier, I don't think you necessarily burn this tape. There's definitely things that you can learn from it and say, like, hey, shoot the puck.
That's
when
a good
you
start.
when you have an open lane to the net, shoot. But also, like, they're going to face more teams this year that are going to be at the level of the Avalanche. And it's like, okay, like, this is a very fast team. Tampa Bay is a very fast team. Vegas is a loaded team. Like, here's what you can learn from in a game like this against a loaded, fast team that can help them in other games that they're going to face this year that are going to be that talent and speed discrepancy. So you can learn from it, but it's frustrating that you have to go through it.
Yeah. A couple things. I know people complaining about the power play, rightfully so.
Yeah.
We also got to remember, it's, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 guys on that top power play unit that have never played together until this year.
Yep.
Including a rookie.
Jones,
Perry,
Hall,
Donato, Hall,
Bedard.
Yeah, they've never played with
Donato
each other.
and
So
Perry.
you got to give it some time. It's going to look out of, it's going to look discombobulated at times because these guys still haven't figured out each other's tendencies and what works and what doesn't. And the Colorado Avalanche's penalty kill is stupid. Like, it's insane.
They have not given up a penalty. They've not given up a power play goal all year.
And they have 2 shorthandeds, both coming from Logan
Back-to-back
O'Connor.
games.
Yeah.
And, like,
They're a good fucking team.
yeah. So, and then,
See ya, everybody.
But, guys, well, I don't know. What else are you supposed to say?
like,
No, you're right.
This isn't the night to be overly, like, and somebody, I think it was Chicago Sports Radio talking about.
What? There's someone named Chicago Sports Radio in the chat. I didn't see that.
What point do you consider getting Bedard off the first line? Not helping him. Putting him against the top players who are keen on him. Guess what? No matter
until they have Connor McDavid on the team.
No matter who's on his left and right, guess what?
He's going to
The
be
other
the top
team's
line.
best top
That's
line
the
is still
top
going to be
line.
out there.
The
No
top-
matter what
yeah.
line he's on, it's the top
That's the
line.
The top
line.
line is whoever he's centering.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the top line.
So I don't have
Oh my God, guys.
it's 5 games.
Come on,
It's
we can't ride the roller coaster like this every night. Like
We're
not we. I mean, I'm the royal we.
Yes,
Because,
the proverbial we.
like you said, you just went into Toronto and kicked their ass.
Yeah.
Like it's
maybe
gonna
maybe
be.
that's the big letdown because you're coming off that high.
Yeah.
you took a Stanley Cup contending team, and you beat them on their home ice. You clowned Ryan Reeves. You were feeling good. So yeah, I get that a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's
Before our break, let's take some super chats here real quick. McLovin with a $5 says, "Help me cope that Bedard won't lose confidence from this bullshit schedule. How long will we see him swear or punch the boards after every shift? He's going to be that way. He is a
Very hard on
mega
him.
competitor.
he's gonna do that.
He
way.
wants to be great. He will score a hat trick and be pissed he doesn't have 4.
Right. He'll have 2 goals and an assist in the third period and hit a post and he'll slam his stick.
Yes.
Like that's just who he is.
I really do think that finally coming home,
Yeah.
playing in the United Center, it's gonna make a difference. Not just for Bedard, but for the entire team to be able to
Sleep
get
in
home.
your damn bed and see your kids. Like,
Yeah.
Some home games will be nice.
You get home, you get the comforts of the city, you get the home crowd. They're gonna get some juice from it being the home opener. You got the red carpet, it's a sellout, all this stuff. It's like finally we get our chance to be celebrated to start the season rather than being the team that every other team gets their home opener against.
And eventually you're going to have home games, and eventually you're going to have home games against Nashville and
You're going to play the
Columbus
Sharks at some point.
and the Sharks and the Ducks. You're going to start playing some shit teams that you could beat. It's okay.
Yes,
It's
that would
going to
be
like
good.
Your first-
playing all these ridiculously good teams for the first 13 games of the year or whatever it is
Yeah.
means you're going to have a large chunk of playing the bottom feeders. It all evens out.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's fine.
It's fine.
We're going to be okay. All right,
Yeah.
more super chats.
Nick says Saturdays against Vegas. I get it's a home opener. I hope fans don't lose their minds if the game goes bad. Love the show every night. Thank you. They will, but it's okay.
It's a,
Yeah, I mean
it's
that's
a Saturday night.
That's another one where the opponent, you can probably set your expectations a little low for the result, but home opener Saturday night, like maybe they get an extra kick in their step, but it's still Vegas. It's the defending champs. They're also still cup champs cup favorites to repeat. Like they're a good fucking team. Like that, you're gonna have a lot. You're gonna have a lot of teams like that play against the Blackhawks this year, and you're gonna have a lot of results like that. Like we are not just because Bedard is here, and just because this team on paper seems to have more NHL talent top to bottom, and there's fun and exciting things to watch, and there's the young guys coming up. Just because that's all happening this year doesn't mean that everything that happened last year isn't like everything that happened last year is not too far removed from this year's team. Like it's the attitude is changing, but the results aren't going to change all that much. Like this is still a team that's going to be in the lottery.
Right. All right, 2 more before we get to our first break. Brandon with a $5 super chat says Vets need to get their asses chewed out. They look uninspired and careless. The Vets need to lead, and tonight they didn't. I disagree with that. Nick Foligno was probably the best skater for the team. Ryan Donato was
Andres
second shots on goal. Athanasiou had a good
their
game.
best player
Athanasiou.
were part of the vet.
Yeah,
group,
I
so.
mean, okay. Windy City Hockey says, I'm just mad that the game ended at 12 a.m. A Central Division game should start no later than 8 p.m.
That's the best.
Yeah,
Agree.
That's what I'm most mad about is that
Yes, I'm mad that it's
12:30.
12:38, and we're talking about a damn game that was played in Denver.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So we could watch
That
the
didn't have
exciting,
overtime.
The exciting James Madison versus Marshall game that it featured 67 punts.
Woo! That's
Or
exciting.
whatever it
you
was.
said punts.
I said
Punts, yes.
and only 67.
And I want to, Gravely said something in the chat I want to hit before the break, too. He said that I was overreacting the same way against Montreal, and it's a different reaction because Montreal and Colorado are nowhere close in terms of talent.
Yeah.
And the Hawks tonight versus that night were nowhere close in terms of effort. I don't think tonight was an effort issue. Tonight was
It
a
wasn't.
talent issue.
No.
They just could not stop what the Avalanche were doing.
Nope.
And just as the Hawks did during their heyday, they were rolling 4 lines and 3 pairs all night long, and they were grinding the Hawks' asses into the ice. Montreal can't do that.
No.
And that's what I was pissed about. I wasn't pissed about the loss. I was pissed about the way they lost. For clarity. All right, let's get primed.
Exactly.
Yes. By the way, DNVR Avs their shirt this year should be "We are a fucking good team." That should be their shirt.
Good fucking team.
Good fucking team. All right.
Maybe they'll so enjoy talking about them.
Speaking of good teams, I know. Can you? It's so boring
What a
watching
drag.
a team like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of good teams, we've got a good team that have joined us here at CHGO. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? If you are, then we've got great news for you. Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in Fox Lake have joined the CHGO team, as I just said, at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. You'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest inventory and find unforgettable savings, unlike tonight's game, which is very forgettable. And right now, during Ram Power Days at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, only in Fox Lake, you'll be able to secure 0% financing or 17% off new Ram models. But that's not all. Now through October 31st, explore their newly renovated showroom and take advantage of limited time 7-year anniversary savings. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram because they're the only team we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake for more information. Head over to raycdjr.com today, serving the community since 1963.
And if you're looking for tickets to the home opener on Saturday, really the best place you can look is Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to the next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, view from your seats, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. I love the fact that I can go look at the seat locations and say, all right, what's the difference between, 329 and 310? What's the view difference? And you could see that right there on Game Time, so you know exactly what you're getting, which is easier during hockey because it's round and the view's kind of the same. But if you're at a concert or something, especially in a big arena like the UC, you're not sure what the stage setup's going to look like, they will help you know exactly where you're going to sit. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. And with zone deals, you pick the section, and Game Time picks the seats for an average of 18% savings. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account, use the code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Got some quotes here coming in from
Excellent.
Postgame. This one from Mark Lazarus. Luke Richardson on Connor Bedard said the Avs were, quote, overwhelming for a lot of us, not just him. This also coming from Mark Lazarus. This is Nick Foligno was not buying the end of a long trip explanation. Quote, no, that's just a good team. There's no excuse here for our group. We are not in a position to be making excuses at all. The schedule, every team gets screwed somehow, some way throughout the year, so who cares? And this from Ben Pope, Nick Foligno on Connor Bedard. Quote, he's getting a good dose of learning, right? I think we all are, not just him. He's understanding how hard this league is, and he's still up to the task. He's a great player. He's going to learn.
Yep. Yeah, I think all of that is logical. And I think if I'm going to bicker with Nick Foligno about anything there, I think there is some validity to the 5-game road trip thing.
There is, but
he's not going to say that. Right, of course. Of course.
No. He's a longtime pro. He's not going to say what.
But that's you don't want that excuse to sink in. Right, like if he was to say, like, oh, 5-game road trip, we're probably a little bit tired. We're happy to be going home. Next time there's a 3-game trip or a 4-game trip, you don't want to see guys maybe mailing it in for that last game because the excuse is built in. The more he speaks, the more I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, big fan of Nick Foligno.
Yep.
And no one else I'm a big fan of. We've got over 200 people
crazy
watching live at 12:44 on a Friday morning after a 4-0 loss.
I think 170 of them just fell asleep with the YouTube on, which is fine.
Hey.
Because, it's line driving the paper.
We'll just talk quietly the rest of the show.
Oh, I came home the other night.
Sleepy ASMR post game.
I came home the other night, and my better half, she's going for her master's degree, so she was doing her homework, and she had one of those women with the fingernails on the microphone going in the background to help her. No,
I hate that.
No.
To sleep?
I hate that.
No, she had it on while she was doing her homework to kind of
To like concentrate.
Yeah, just that noise got her to like. But all I'm seeing is these big long nails on this thing, and I'm like, no, get that off my TV immediately.
My wife always says that one of the reasons she loves working in an office is just the ambient sound of like paper shuffling and keyboards clicking, and like that like helps her like relax as being at work and stuff. And I remember. Like when we were in school and we'd visit each other and stuff doing homework, she'd be like, can you just like flip through this notebook while I like do this paper? And I was like, all right, fine. And it's just interesting how that works for different people.
I mean, I always have to have something on when I'm writing or working. I always have to have like a music, but preferably music with no lyrics.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. Question from P3 Arizona. Jay, tell us about the Arizona Coyote shirt. Look out for the PHNX folks to be salty about Connor. They can be salty. It's fine. They're just jealous. Greg and I are wearing purple today because it is Spirit Day, which is a cause for the LGBTQ plus community created by GLAAD to initially it was like a bullying awareness day. So we are wearing purple in support of the LGBTQ plus folks in our life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's all. That's all the purple's about today. And this is my only purple shirt aside from my Northwestern shirt, and they're on probation right now. They're in the backup shirt closet. By the way, forgot to mention this while we still have a bunch of people. Tomorrow at 11, shirts. Our interview, Mario and I got the chance to speak to Jamie Faulkner today. So we got about a half hour with her. That will drop tomorrow at 11, both on YouTube and on the podcast. So set yourself a reminder. Lots of info about the home opener, which is really cool, including this really cool thing they're doing now where you can get like a commemorative ticket for the game you attend.
Like a physical ticket.
Physical ticket.
Yeah,
it will have like a QR code on it, and they're going to deem certain games Blackhawks classic. So let's say, I'm sure the opening game will be Connor Bedard's first game will be one. The first time he has a hat trick, whatever. They will be commemorative, and then forever you'll have that physical ticket, and you can scan that QR code, and it will show you the highlights of the moment. It sounds really cool. She details it a lot, as well as some other really great stuff that you're not going to want to miss. And Christian, who says, black jerseys, please. You will be very pleased with the interview tomorrow because we got basically 100% confirmation that the black jerseys are coming back. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
So I would think Fanatics starts next year, right?
Fanatics is,
so I would think probably 2 years, like the 26 season.
It does sound like the Centennial season is going to be a fun one as far as aesthetics go. So
they'll probably have multiple jerseys that year.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So yeah, check that interview out. A lot of cool information. The ticket thing, like, I know we put it out there on Twitter today about the the initiative. They released it to the public for information and stuff, and of course there are people who'd be like, now you got to pay for a physical ticket when you could just have real tickets anyways. It's like, okay, well, it's 2023. So many things are digital now. Like, that's just how the world works. Yeah. So now physical tickets have become a nostalgic thing. It's just how it is. And I love it. I still have a shoebox full of tickets to old games that I went to for all different sporting events and stuff. So the details that Jamie gave make it sound like it would be. You can even get kind of like personalized things with the tickets. Again, listen to the interview. She gives the whole details, but it sounds like a really cool project. And I think it's like games just starting this year, because I think some people were asking like, oh, can I go back to a game 1 or 2 years ago and print a ticket? I don't think that's the case.
But I think starting this year,
starting with this season,
you
can be able to. Yeah,
it'd be cool if you can go back in time, because there's some games I'd like to have.
It'd be cool to get like Taze's last game ticket or something, stuff like that.
She used the example of like, if you, let's say, this year you take a girl or a guy, whatever, to your first date.
Yeah.
And then 3 years from now, you're like, oh, we're getting married. Let's get that stub. You'd be able to go back as long as it's tied to your Ticketmaster account.
Yeah.
you'd be able to get that ticket. So it's really cool. And from what it sounded like, we don't know the total cost yet. She basically said like it'll just be the price to basically produce and ship it.
Yeah,
So it's not going to be cost prohibitive in any way, I don't think.
No, I was bummed when I was a season ticket holder when they stopped sending you the book of tickets.
Yeah.
I was kind of bummed. Also kind of bummed because it was before the app, so we had to print out every ticket from home. So I'm like, cool, costing me more money now with all this paper and ink I have to use over 41 games. But
Right.
I love a good ticket stub. I still have a ton.
What's funny, I found if you were watching us this week, my wife found some old bobbleheads and Haas
Wow.
memorabilia in her closet, including some old programs, which they printed glossy, like thick stock magazines every game.
It's crazy. It's crazy how not cost effective the old days were.
Yeah, it's like every day they publish like a glossy, like I can't even
41 games.
Yeah,
Well, really,
A brand new one.
The only real difference on those things were basically the covers.
there'd be different
Yeah, but
feature stories and
you'd
stuff
have
too.
to constantly print
Right.
them.
Well, if
you
you have
know?
the books printed,
And that's
you have to get
that program's 80 pages.
right. But
like
75 of those pages never change throughout the season.
There is a
Sure.
Tuomo Rutu
Yeah.
centerfold that was surprisingly ezy to open after all.
Yeah,
these years.
I was a little nervous when I flipped that page. I was like,
It was fine. Shut up.
So how many programs did you buy that year?
7. One for each day of the week. No, it was. We're gonna do some fun social media with that program.
Yeah,
It's
there's
the
some,
0203 Hawks. Is that what it was?
0304.
0304.
Yeah, there's some names in there. I was
Oof.
like, who?
Oh boy. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Anyways,
Yeah, I guess we should get back to this game.
we should pay off
really
some
have
of our regular segments, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got one.
I
Let's
think
do
get
one
the
more
hell outta
super
here.
chat here. Dustin, $5 says the Avs struggled in the last game of a 3-game road trip to start the year. Young team like the Hawks are expected to struggle with 5-game road trip. Yep, sure, totally fair. Yeah. All right, let's do
Avs struggled with the 3-game road trip to begin the year. Is that what he said?
Then
the last game of a
Last game.
3-game
They
road
only
trip.
won by 3 that game.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're 3-0 heading into tonight, but
Yeah.
that's a fair point.
All right, let's do. What do you want to do? Who's your Hawk?
No, I don't want to wear that. I don't want to wear that thing for another 20 minutes.
All right, should we do Connor's Corner? It's gonna be quick.
That's a real easy one to get out of
That'll
here.
get out of here in 30 seconds.
All right.
Did we get the intro? No?
I got one. I
All
don't
right.
know if we're going to like it, but
That's fine.
it's better than nothing. Here
One
we
in the
go.
All right,
morning.
let's hear it.
give a whirl. I like it.
I like that.
Keeper.
Beautiful.
There it is. A whole lot of nothing.
Whole bunch of zeros for Conrad Bedward, and
Yeah.
this one it
The
was
music
his-
was a little anticlimactic for today's stat line here.
The Avs.
You know what? The music makes those zeros look even better.
Yeah.
Here are the numbers.
The Avs
You
put
see him
him
on your
in
screen.
timeout.
No goals, no assists, no shots. That it's also no shot attempts. He was a -1, 1937 of ice time. However, 1-7 and lost 8 faceoffs, 47%.
Hey, it's not bad.
It's a big jump for him. Beautiful.
Not bad. That'll help the season total.
I mean, if there's one positive
Go
to
up.
take away, I mean, 7 of 15, but he was 0 for 4 to start tonight.
Yep.
So
Yeah, he figured it
my
out.
math means that he won 7 of his last 11 faceoffs.
Lucas
bad.
Reichel won 60%. Won 3, lost 2.
They
but
were
still
47% as a team tonight.
It's
will
funny
throw-
what happens
I'll
when
take-
Crosby and those guys aren't
I'll
out
take
there.
47% as
Hey,
for
they
this
came-
team.
They
absolutely.
came
every
into
night.
the night at 32.
Yeah,
so
right.
I didn't-
27.
oh,
Or
that's
no,
right.
that was right.
Bedard
That
was
was Bedard.
27.
Yeah.
That was Bedard.
So it went up for everybody tonight. So there's something.
There's
something good.
there's a positive.
Yes. Yay face-offs.
Hooray.
Even though they had their best face-off night in their worst game.
And do we want to update the 4-star voting, or is it pretty much already over?
Sure, let's do it.
Oh, it's over.
It's
Yeah.
over.
What do we got, Steven?
We got a runaway.
Kornacki has called it.
We got Petr Mrazek
Yeah.
with the winner.
Yeah, he deserves it.
71% of the vote.
I still will say he loses his net a lot. Like, there's a lot of times
Yeah.
I'll look at the screen and be like, "Where's
Well, he
Peter?"
made that one save. He was almost out in the
He was
fucking circle.
the right side, yeah,
And he still made the save.
yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, the goalies have been not a problem this year. They've both been really, really good. I would absolutely expect Arvid Soderblom to get the start on Saturday. against Vegas. Good luck. But hey, they've been solid. They've been doing their job night after night after night.
Yeah. I don't have any problems with either of them through the first 5 games.
No,
Not at all.
None of their 3 losses can be pinned on a goalie.
No. Even with tonight being a 4-0 loss, like Mrazek was making saves to make it respectable for the Blackhawks. It could have been 7-0 tonight.
Very
Easily.
Yeah,
Yes.
he took like 3 shots right off the
Yeah,
bucket,
he's getting
too.
hit right in the face.
Yeah, not a fun night for him. He was getting frustrated towards the end there.
I don't blame him.
I would
I mean,
too.
look, even if your teammates are given the best they can, it still is like, dudes.
Getting hit with a puck 41 times is not great. even with all
No,
that
that
padding.
doesn't feel good. I can't imagine that feels very good. So yeah, it was a solid night for him. But that was about it. And I think we knew that Mrazek was going to be one of the guys, and then Athanasiou and Foligno were kind of the least bad of the forwards, but
Yeah.
deserve for Petr
They
Mrazek
put in
tonight, that's
solid
for sure.
efforts.
It was definitely a flashback to last season when it came to the 4-star, because so many times last year when we each named our own 4-star, there were so many where like, I don't know, I don't care.
Yeah.
And then it was
The
tonight,
popcorn guy was real
yeah,
loud.
Tonight was one of those nights where we were like, okay, Mrazek and who? I don't know. I remember seeing
Yeah.
that guy make a play.
Right.
Cool.
Well, I think
There won't be that many more. though.
Foligno is.
He had the
He's going to give you everything he's got every game.
and he had what happens in this game if he actually buries that shot early?
It's a different game.
First 5 minutes of the game, he had
He had 2
essentially
really
a
good
one-on-
chances. Yeah.
He had a shot to put the Hawks up early. Maybe that takes the crowd out of the game. Maybe that gets you a little momentum. Not saying you win the game if you score there, but it could have been a completely different game. if he
Punching the
buries that
abs in
shot.
the mouth first before they just punched you,
Or a
and
few
then
kicks
punched
in
you,
there,
punched
too.
you, punched you, and then punched you, and then gave you a little Derek Carr on the side, and then punched you, punched you.
A little nut pinch.
Yeah,
And then
that
when
might
they
have
were
changed
down,
it a little
then
bit.
They did
Yeah.
the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, then they
elbow
give you a
off the
nice
top
little
rope.
elbow
Yeah.
off the top, and then 1, 2, 3.
Steven said at this rate, with how many shots he's taken, Mrazek's groin will tear by Halloween.
Hope not.
That's
Never
probably
want that to
optimistic,
happen.
actually. But yeah. P. Will supporter, who must be here left over from the Bulls game, has some stuff to say.
Go to bed.
He wants us to move Reichel to wing. He wants Connor Garland signed, and he wants to move Zorich to linebacker.
Fine.
So we'll do all those
I
things
want
for
Patrick
you.
Williams to play center.
We've actually been talking about Connor Garland a little bit.
Who's Zorich?
God.
I don't know, we're dealing with a youngin.
Don't let them shame you. I don't know who that is either.
Oh my
You don't know who
God!
Chris Zorich is?
No, it's a made up name.
Chris Zorich.
All right. Well, do some research. Good Lord.
He was one of those guys that got drafted out of Notre Dame because went to Notre Dame. Everyone thought he was going to be good, and then he got to the NFL and he was like,
He wasn't bad.
Chris.
he wasn't good either.
He was fine.
He gave out a lot of turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Yes, he did. And
Zor-
a lot of corruption
Then he
later
got
in
in
his
trouble.
life.
And then a few of those turkeys made it.
All right,
into
fine.
his own
I'll
freezer.
modernize it. Move Urlacher to safety. Is this
Former
one-
American football defensive tackle who played college football at Notre Dame and played in the NFL with the Chicago Bears and Washington Redacteds. Zorich is the athletic director at Chicago State University
Yes,
from May 28th to July 22 or May 2018 to July 2019. Why? What happened?
Well, that's a different story.
Okay.
That's a different article.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neither of you guys know Chris Zorich?
He was a Pro Bowl alternate in 1993.
Yeah, he was
Big
decent.
deal. Number 97, right?
Yeah.
And what year, Mario?
1993.
Oh, when I was being born. Yeah.
Well,
He's in the College
deal.
Football Hall of Fame.
Eat shit.
I know who Gail Sayers is. I know Ed Obradovich was. I wasn't
You
alive
know,
when they played.
Chris Zorich and Gale Sayers, one in the same, right?
Ed Obradovich,
Who?
Doug Buffone.
I've heard that name.
Okay. See?
Ed O'Branovich.
You know who Stan Mikita is, right?
I've heard that name before.
You heard of Stan Mikita?
Yeah, I met him one time.
You heard of Chico Mackey?
Yep.
Keith Magnuson?
Yeah.
All these guys played before you were born. What's the difference?
They
They're
all
not
had
from
they all
Chicago
had
or
they all
Chicago
had impacts
tough like
on my
Chris
life.
Zorich, my friends.
They all had impacts on my life.
Well, you need a better life.
All right.
this
Well,
show's
Chris
gone off the
Chris Zorich has an impact on my life now. I will never
Chris Zorich
forget
signed
it.
my Notre Dame Nokia phone back in the day.
Nice.
Remember when you could replace the face on your phone?
Yeah.
The little Nokia ones? I had a Notre Dame one. He's like, oh, let me sign it. And just really tiny on the bottom.
That's cool.
I will never wash my phone again.
Did you keep it?
I don't know where it is. I think it's in the College Football Hall of Fame.
So
this
much of a
point.
memory that lasted for you.
Hey, you know where I need to go right now? Sunnyside.
To bed.
And it's Thursday, so we need to pick someone who made us feel good in Chicago sports. Peter Mrazek.
Sure.
Did he?
Thanks, Peter, for making it less bad.
Corey Perry made us feel pretty good on the other day.
I'm mad at the Blackhawks for humanizing him and making me feel bad and feelings about him and his family. It's like they showed him leaving his son for the road trip. It was like the saddest thing I ever saw.
Yeah.
Oh, who knew Corey Perry was human and could spawn other humans? I didn't know that. That's why I need to go to Sunnyside. It's my home for judgment-free cannabis shopping, a place where all kinds of visitors are welcome to explore, discover, and purchase a wide array of high-quality products. Sunnyside has everything you need to elevate your football season or survive it. No matter where you are on your cannabis journey, easy online ordering and in-store pickup are there for you with a great loyalty program called Sunnyside Rewards. It is Illinois' favorite dispensary with good reason. Good news. My favorite brand, I'm going to pop one of those tonight. That's for damn sure. Counting Sheep helps me sleep through the night. The Mindy's Black Cherry Edibles, some of my favorites. It's like taking a warm bath. They got so many great brands there. Cresco, High Supply, FloraCal, Wonder Remedy, some of the great brands you can try. And now through October 31st, Halloween, head to sunnyside.shop and use that code CHGO25 at checkout for 25% off your total order. It's one use per customer, not stackable with other promos, but it's not only for new customers. Anyone can use that code. Pick up everything you need to elevate your football season. Must be 21 plus or an Illinois Med Card holder. Again, that is sunnyside.shop with the code CHGO25.
And hey, if you're using Sunnyside to get through your football season, you should get out to our CHGO Bears tailgates and enjoy the football season. We got 2 left coming up here, October 22nd against the Las Vegas Raiders. That is the team that played tonight and lost. They come to town, so be sure to come out to the CHGO Bears tailgate. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully the weather.
Saints that
Yeah,
lost
the
tonight.
Saints played today.
Saints?
It's late. You're all right.
Derek Carr.
Carr,
That's
yeah.
what's messing with me. Him and his
him and his
him and
punch
his
nuts.
bruised balls. Yeah, but hey, no matter
after
what,
midnight,
if it's the Raiders or the Derek Carr Saints or whatever, come out to the CHGO Bears tailgate.
Doesn't really matter who the Bears are
All
playing.
that
Just go to
matters
the
is that the
tailgate.
Bears are playing and you're gonna have fun at the tailgate. Go to
Put their
allchgo.com
uniforms on at least.
and get your tickets. And when you're at the tailgate, this is the important part. Be sure to be on the lookout for X Golf. They will be there giving away a $200 gift certificate to any of their Chicagoland locations. What is X Golf? Well, it's just a upscale place for you to get out on the range all weather, all season, and you got some good food, some good brews as well. So go to playxgolf.com/Chicagoland to see all of their nearest locations to you. Again, at the CHGO Bears tailgate, X Golf is going to be giving away a $200 gift certificate. We already gave one out last Sunday, so they're going to be out there this upcoming Sunday, and then one more time in November 9th, I believe, is that final tailgate. So hopefully the weather holds out, and hopefully Secret Agent Man can have a couple wins under his belt.
I think that's likely.
Nice.
P. Will supporters roasting me in the chat. That's fine. I'm going to roast you back. You're a Bulls fan. I win. Good luck.
Ouch.
Hey, he likes me. Take it easy.
He
That's
does
my
like
guy.
you.
Got another quote here from
I like P. Will supporter. He's my guy.
another quote here.
He's got
This
thoughts.
This coming in from Seth Jones. This is via Ben Pope. Seth Jones, quote, "We let them mess with the puck down low, cycle a few times, go low to high, and then their D get involved, and it's tough to stop. We needed to hit and pin quicker in the corners, go stick on puck, and then have our second or third guy come in, take the puck, and skate it out. We didn't think we did a great job as defensemen at stopping the play."
That is solid analysis.
That's very insightful from Seth. And yeah, I mean, you hear that, you apply it to what your eyes saw, and you're like, yeah, that totally makes sense, because it seemed like every time the Avs were in the offensive zone, it wasn't one and done. They'd have a shot on goal, Mrazek would make a save. Puck goes to the corner. The Avs get it out. They get it up to their defenseman. They cycle it back around. They get another shot. If it's saved, they do it again, and it was just continuous possession in the offensive zone. I didn't see what the final numbers were, but the Avs had seemingly twice as many minutes played in the attacking zone as the Blackhawks did, and it was just possession after possession, chance after chance, and it was just, I mean, not only were the Blackhawks on the final night of a 5-game road trip, but they're also just getting worked in the defensive zone and just long shifts on top of each other. So it was just a night where, you know, it seemed like the Blackhawks had, even though Nick Foligno says wasn't the case, a night where their tanks had to be half full, and then they were just getting emptied.
Yep.
They're just so freaking fast. Yeah. Colorado. They're on you before you even have a chance to react.
They're a really good fucking team.
But it's beyond good though. Like,
me.
they are good. But they're so, it's like I was talking about in the pregame where I was expecting this to be chance after chance. It was, but just for the Avs, they're solid and deep and the fastest team in the NHL.
Yeah.
They're uncatchable. Like, you saw that Logan O'Connor breakaway. That guy was shot out of a cannon. He's like 8th on their depth chart, 9th. Like, he's like a middle of the lineup guy for them. Just another guy with huge speed. And if you listen to Kyle Davidson and it's late at night, blanking on the other guy, the guy from Boston who we had on the show.
Who we had on the show?
Yes. He is like
From
the
Boston?
draft guy.
Oh,
Mike Donahue.
Mike Donahue, thank you. He said if you can't skate, you can't play for the Hawks.
yeah.
Speed is something that they are looking after. They got the fastest skater in the draft and Oliver Moore. So hopefully in a few years, they're going to be close to what Colorado has.
Yeah, they're trying to emulate what Colorado is doing right now.
I mean, one of the very first press conferences we ever had with Luke Richardson, he said, I'm going to show these guys the Stanley Cup final, and that's what we want to be. And that Stanley Cup final
that was the Avs Lightning.
Colorado versus Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Yep.
They want to emulate what Colorado's doing. It's no secret.
Yeah, and
they'll get there.
Dan says they're maybe the deepest team in the NHL without even Landeskog. That's true, and Landeskog might slow them down.
Right. Right.
We don't have room for him. He's too slow. Yeah, they're crazy. That team is so good, so deep, so fast. They're a tough matchup for anybody.
I mean, I don't think anything summed up tonight's game better than I don't remember if it was first period or second period, but they interviewed. It might have been first period. Emily Kaplan was doing an interview with Jared Bednar during one of the TV timeouts. They play it coming back from break, and he said something to the effect of like, "We're trying different things tonight. We're experimenting different things tonight." And it was just like, "Oh, okay. The Blackhawks are the team that you experiment with." Like, that's just how it is. The Avs are looking at this game and being like, "Well, we want to try some things. Let's do it in a game where it's not going to be too consequential."
Let's spend the whole period skating backwards into the zone.
Everyone
Let's leave our sticks on the
everyone
bench for a
used the
shift.
stick the other way.
Everybody, put your skates on the other foot.
Yeah, Kale McCarr is going to take a couple face-offs tonight.
Yeah. He'd probably win 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
745 Moto fan is yelling at us. She says, "Well, bring speed with size because you need size in the playoffs." Yes, and that is something that I think will probably be addressed. They did later in the draft.
You guys are forgetting Marcel.
Yeah.
He's gigantic.
Another giant person, Oscar. It's late, man. I can't think of anybody's
Oscar
names.
Olofsson, or was it Olaf Oscarsson?
No, Milton Oscarsson.
Oscar
Yeah,
Milton.
that's a giant, angry-looking fella.
Big dude.
Yeah,
Who knows if they're NHL players, but
Alex Ferrand is a big guy, too.
yeah.
Ethan Del Mastro is huge.
Vlasic's big.
Blassett's big.
Yep.
Nolan Allen's big.
Sam Renzel is a tall
Sam
twig.
Renzel is tall.
Yes.
Sam Savoie is pesky.
Yes. Miss that guy.
Yeah. Should we make Mario wear the helmet?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's time.
Yes.
Yeah. I won. Yeah.
You get the win. You get to wear the helmet.
Look at that.
Is that 3 in a row from you now?
Sure as hell is.
That's great. I got first pick again for
Call that a winning
Saturday.
streak.
Man.
Nice.
Hooray. I feel like a winner.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like a winner. You look like one. You really do.
Yeah.
That's just trust us.
If you want to get yourself something that looks as good on your head as that helmet looks on Mario's head, head on over to FOCO and get fitted out in the best sports gear around. I don't know if they got hockey helmets with CHGO stickers on them, but I do know they have hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, and everything in between. It's hockey season. It's football season. It's basketball season right around the corner. They're wrapping up their preseason. So get everything you need for a game over at FOCO. You'll notice all around our set, we've got some great set decorations. FOCO has donated a few of the awesome pieces for our sets, so go show them some love. We're hoping they send us one of those Connor Bedard bobbleheads they got on pre-order right now. So check out FOCO.com, FOCO, or click on the link in the description below for all non-presale items. Use the promo code CHGO, and they're going to give you 10% off your order.
Great deal.
Yep.
And money you save, you can go to liquor store.
Yeah, when you're saving money on your sports merch, you can buy yourself some delicious Goose Island beer. Goose Island is the proud beer sponsor of us here at CHGO. They have been Chicago's beer since 1988, and they have a tremendous beer roster that you can find year-round that includes the full pocket pills, the everyday beer that the Goose Island beer brewers are drinking. You got the entire family of Beer Hug IPAs, and you have the golden cans of 312, the wheat ale, the staple of their year-round beer roster. And as hockey season and basketball season get underway, you can definitely quench your thirst with some Bull and Goose West Side Ale to honor the Chicago Bulls, or you have the Blackhawks Pale Ale. Both of those are going to be available at the United Center this year, and they will be hitting the shelves very soon. So you can grab all of these ultra-fresh brewery exclusive beers and more at the Goose Island Original Brewhouse on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park, or you can go to their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Again, that is the Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer.
All right. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for staying up with us. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out. And remember that tomorrow at 11, our interview with Jamie Faulkner drops both on YouTube and on your podcast apps. So make sure you check that out. Lots of good info in there, about 30 minutes or so. So give it a listen, check it out, and we'll be back Saturday for the home opener. No pregame on Saturday because we're going to be at the red carpet. We're going to be covering all the pregame festivities. But, of course, as soon as the game ends, we'll be on, and hopefully we'll be talking about a Hawks win over the Golden Knights. But, again, thanks for staying up late with us. It is 1:12 a.m., and we've still got, over almost 200 people with us. Amazing. In the chat. So thank you so much. Again, hit that like button on the way out. Thanks to Steven for producing the show and staying up with us as well. We'll talk to you Saturday, post-game on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.